we face challenges and struggles, and then we have life in all of that. We have kids, and it gets messy, and we have breakups and divorces, but we are an identity. We are something based on what we do most of the time. And then I often coach clients where it's not working anymore. Sad for the people that lose a loved one, but also it's sad for the individual that they think that they're a burden on somebody else, to the point that they end their life.
It may be that someone needs you to be on your A game that day, and they need you, but they need you. They don't need a different version of you. They need you, and they need your skills to bring to the table. The bit I want to add then, and I think is going to lead us to your book, I think, in a strange way, is that when you do show up as your authentic self all the time, and you're not playing a version of yourself, you're then congruent. You're congruent with your values and beliefs. And when you're congruent with your values and beliefs, that's when trust is built. That's when truth comes out. Whereas if you're playing a role, you end up in conflict with your values and beliefs.
Yeah.
And that conflict is where trust is broken or eroded. And non-truth, the non-true you will show up. How does that sit with you?
I think there's an extra piece that I just want to, on that reflection, I want to add to, and that is potentially we learn that we need to choose something, right? We need to choose what we want to do, and so we choose inevitably around 18 years old. When we finish school, or if you finish school at 16 or whatever it was, right? I want to be a tradie, or I want to go study at uni, and at some point you make a decision, or I want to be an engineer, or I want to be a psychologist. You make a choice, and you try it on, and we make it work, because of course we face challenges and struggles, and then we have life in all of that. We have kids, and it gets messy, and we have breakups and divorces, but we are an identity. We are something based on what we do most of the time. And then I often coach clients where it's not working anymore. They've achieved a level of success. They've become, quite senior in their role, or they get offered a leadership position, and then they don't have the relationship, and something's not being met. And it is at an emotional level. So that's why it creates so much dissonance. And what you're talking about, that trust is broken. The trust is in themselves, but often people don't understand where that's coming from. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand why I feel so bad. And we call it a midlife crisis often, but that's not what it is. What it is a recognition that I can't fake it anymore. I can't keep lying to myself.
Hey everyone, it's Mick Spiers from the Leadership Project, where we empower leaders with all of the knowledge and skills that they need to create amazing teams and amazing workspaces. If you're liking today's video, please don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and the notification bell. Back to the show.
And when people know that they can't keep lying to themselves, but they continue to lie to themselves, that's where it all falls apart. It is such a toxic place to be in yourself, knowing that you're harming yourself by lying to yourself. It's that awareness that just brings you into a place of hurt. And unless you address it by first saying, okay, I'm not going to lie to myself anymore, as hard as that is, I'm just not going to do it. That will then enable me to unveil what happens next.
That's very powerful, Joe. The things that are popping into my head are this one, that we have a tendency to, and people even say these words, to fake it till we make it.
Yeah.
But what I'm hearing from you is it sets us up for fake it till you break it.
Unfortunately, for people that go down that path, it can end terribly. I mean, this is where we step into escapism, and that pretty much includes all forms of addiction. behavioral substance, you name it. Addiction and escapism fits in there. And the worst form, or let's say the saddest form, suicide.
Yeah.
People want to escape life altogether. And usually because they don't want other people to be burdened by their dysfunction. It's done for, or that's the reflection, which is really sad. Sad for the people that lose a loved one, but also it's sad for the individual, that they think that they're a burden on somebody else, to the point that they end their life. So, I think, you owe it to yourself and everybody else around you to stop lying to yourself, as hard as that is.
So there's a few things there, and I want to add something important here as well. So the awareness that you've been lying to yourself, you start feeling that, but then the feeling that if you then open up about that to other people, that it's going to be such a shock to them that you become a burden, was the word that you use.
Yeah.
But my experience in all of that is when you have those conversations, people are usually very understanding, particularly if they love you.
Yeah.
They're ready to hear that. If you have been having internal conflict inside you for a long time, give people some credit that they might be ready to hear that.
Yeah.
Is the first thing I'd say. The second thing I'd say is, you and I are both Australian, so I'll mention Lifeline. So if you're listening to this program in Australia and you are having these problems, there are services that can help you. There's Lifeline in Australia. In other countries, it goes by other names, and you also have your employee access assistance programs in most companies. If you are feeling this and you feel that you need to talk to someone that's other than your family members, your boss, etc., please do make sure that you make those calls. Hey everyone, it's Mick Spiers from the Leadership Project, where we empower leaders with the knowledge and skills that they need to create amazing teams and amazing workspaces. If you're enjoying our content, please do remember to hit like, subscribe, and that little notification bell so that you can be notified of all of our future videos. In the meantime, please do take care, look out for each other, and join us on this journey as we learn together and lead together.